On tonight's College Crossfire, we'll talk the exciting Red River victory and the upcoming schedule for Texas football. We'll talk the AL and NL Championship Series in the MLB. We'll also debate who's the best dynasty in WNBA history. All of this and much more coming up on College Crossfire.
You know, I really think that Texas fans should start buying their tickets to the Cheez-It Bowl because I think that's where we're ending up this season.
I respect the game. I'm going to get up, grab the football, go back with my teammates and give the ball to the ref.
Shout out to the Tavern and the Austin Gooners. No, not that type of Gooner.
Get out of my face. I've seen enough out of you.
Wow, an intro video at last. I am very happy at that. It is currently 9:10 and... There we go. I needed some more enthusiasm right there. I know it's late, but come on. But I'm your host, TJ Krulitz, and welcome to another show of College Crossfire. We can't wait to get this show started, but before we do that, I want to share that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin Transit System. We connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere in between. So plan your ride at capmetro.org. For those who have never tuned in before, here are the rules for tonight's show. There'll be 3 rounds containing 3 questions each, and for each round, I'm going to dish out points in the amounts of 3, 2, and 1 based on our contestants' answers. Whoever has the most points from their answers by the end of the 3rd round will be crowned as this week's College Crossfire champion, and we'll get the return for our next episode. But there's a catch. Everyone must know before we begin our 3rd and final round, better known as rapid fire, it's worth double the points, meaning no lead is safe. Also, our contestants have not yet been able to see or prepare for these questions whatsoever, so have to think on their feet and come up with their idea of the best possible answer. If there's a tie by the end of rapid fire, don't worry, I have a bonus question ready that will help determine our Crossfire champion. Now that we've finally reviewed the rules, let's introduce our contestants. On first base, she's looking to be the first person to repeat as champion this semester. Welcome to the show, Parker Keston.
Hi, I'm excited to be back, and we'll see if I can defend my title today.
All right. And on second base, the College Press Box EP and one of our commanders-in-chief. Please welcome Kendell Ungar.
Thank you. Just let everyone know TJ had to confirm how to say my last name, so he apparently has a little out for me.
There's a little respectability.
We hang out every
there,
Monday
you know?
morning, and so.
I've never asked the last name before. And on third base, this guy was once the EP of Crossfire. Now he's back as a panelist. He's also been a host before. Has a very patent history with College Crossfire. Please welcome Tyler Moss.
Thanks, TJ. Happy to be here. Since TJ brought up my hosting thing, I'd like to publicly apologize to Kendell. The episode that I hosted was amidst Tommy Yarish's 4-win streak, and I did the math wrong. Kendell should have won. I announced Tommy as the winner. So, Kendell, you get half a victory tonight, at least to that.
Thank you.
Oh, man. I will reward half a point right here for Kendell.
Yeah, please put that down.
That is that's some breaking news right there. Tommy, very sorry, but your four-week win streak is fraudulent, apparently. But now that we've introduced our contestants, it's time to begin the game. The first question I have for you guys, after a huge dub in the Big D to keep the season alive, the Texas Longhorns football team is now 4-2 and has earned their first SEC win of the season. With the Horns looking at Kentucky this weekend, followed by Mississippi State, then finally returning home to DKR to play Vandy, this 3-game stretch will be huge before they finally get another bye. In your eyes, what will be the Longhorns' record in that stretch, and name a player that you think will have the biggest impact to that stretch? Parker, I'll start with you.
I think we're about to go 3-0. Kentucky's pretty inconsistent. Mississippi State, I'm not even sure if that's allowed to be a conference game. And I think Vanderbilt will be our truest test on their offense. But nevertheless, I think we're going to go 3-0 before the bye. As for players, I think defense is going to be really crucial to us. So I'm going to go with Leona Lafau, one of the best run-stopping linebackers in the conference. And if he can really mobilize against the run, then that really frees up other players to protect against the pass. And also putting more pressure on the quarterbacks. So especially against a young quarterback like the one they have at Kentucky, Pavia at Vandy, that's going to be really crucial in forcing those turnovers, just like we saw against Oklahoma.
That is a good pull right there. Definitely agree with the defense being a big X factor for these next 3 games. Kendell?
Okay, I also agree with Parker here that I don't see Texas losing these games. I mean, look back to last week, horrible loss to Florida. Everyone was against them. No one kind of was in Texas's court. But this team rallied. They came back at practice, and they beat number 6 OU. That just shows the growth and the ability to fight this adversity, despite literally everyone kind of doubting them. So the ability to do that so fast and bounce back and get that win at OU, I don't see them falling to Kentucky, Mississippi State. Yes, Vanderbilt may be the biggest challenge, but it's a home game. We haven't been home in over a month. It's going to be a great game. And give me Michael Taft for that player that's going to step in. He came back to this team because he is a leader. Look at the culture of Texas. He lights up a room. He rallies this team around him. He's a defensive player in the secondary. I don't know. He came back to this program to get back to where Texas has been the last 2 years, so I just don't think any other player has the capability to rally this team.
Yeah, I think that Michael Taft is a great answer, obviously. A big leader in that defense. Tyler, round us out.
Yeah, I think these two hit the nail on the head. They're going to go undefeated through this stretch. You know, Kentucky and Mississippi State shouldn't pose a challenge for Texas in the slightest. Vanderbilt is going to be a little bit difficult, but by the time they come back home after this stretch, you know, getting those 3 games in a row, coming back to a home atmosphere against a ranked Vanderbilt, I think they're going to rise to the occasion. As far as players go, I'm going with Quintravion Wisner, I think with the news that Jared Gibson leaving the program with the past couple days is going to mean that Wisner's going to get much more carries. C.J. Baxter still listed as doubtful. Center Cole Hudson was also listed on the injury report as out as of today. So I think it's really going to come down to the run game, and that's all Quintravion Wisner right there. There's nothing, you know, James Simon isn't going to be doing much else, and neither is, I can't even think of his name. Christian Clark, he came to me right there. I don't think either of them is going to be doing much in the run game either.
That is, come on, man. The Joseph Simon hate already. Question 1, but, I mean, shocker, what a surprise. 3 Texas students think Texas is going to go 3-0. I'm going to go with Tyler for the 3 points. I think Quintravion Wisner is going to be a huge X factor for these games. We saw him struggle against Florida. They couldn't get the run game going, and that was a huge reason why they lost to Florida. I'm going to give the 2 to Kendell here, just based off the experience with Michael Taft. He is a seasoned veteran with the team, and he has a lot of experience that is going to help this team kind of get through these games, kind of these rollover games, people that they don't think too much about. They're focused on Georgia or whatever. So, and I'll give you the 1 here. Obviously, great answers all around. Let's get into the next question. Staying in college football, after another embarrassing loss, the Penn State Nittany Lions fired head coach James Franklin. The number 2 ranked preseason team has a famed history and a rowdy crowd, which will surely attract multiple coaches across the country that want to be the next guy on the Penn State sideline. To you, who would be the best fit for the Penn State head coach vacancy and why? Kendell?
When these type of things happen, I always think it goes back to former players. Look at the program. They know the culture. So I'm going to go with Matt Rule here, the current head coach of Nebraska. Again, it's same conference, Big Ten here, and his buyout wouldn't be significant. So I think Penn State would be able to pay his money to get him out of Nebraska. And again, just the emotional factor of knowing how Penn State works. Obviously, it's a big program. There's a huge fan base. There's a culture there. And I just think he's definitely a front runner because a former player, that's a dream. I mean, you have the passion there to be able to kind of coach the program that built you and made you the coach who you are today.
All right, yeah, Matt Rule. He definitely fits the narrative of not winning the big games, too, for Penn State. Tyler?
Yeah, Matt Rule's a good answer. I do like that answer a lot, but I think it's obvious they're going to walk to Indiana and write Curt Cignetti a blank check. Whether or not he takes the check, I'm not sure. But this is the type of scenario that big programs like Penn State always look for. They try to strike the iron while it's hot. Obviously, Cignetti's blown up the past 2 years. It's the type of thing we saw Alabama do with Kalen DeBoer after they couldn't get any well-established head coach. And I think for him turning Indiana around in those 2 years and, kind of exploding right here, he's going to be looking for an opportunity to maybe jump to a bigger program. Penn State, obviously, it's going to be hard to pull away people, that are well-established with their programs. Even Matt Rule's been there for a while, and he has that 8-year contract. So I think Cignetti is the obvious head coaching candidate if I'm the Penn State AD.
Yeah, Curt Cignetti, good answer. Parker?
Give me Sark. I'm kidding. Don't give me sarcasm.
You would have had the 3 points there.
Oh,
No,
thanks.
I'm joking.
I'm going to go with Manny Diaz, head coach at Duke. He has the experience with Penn State defensive coordinator in 2022 and 2023, especially after that pretty disappointing 2021 season. He was able to build the Nittany Lions back up. The thing with Penn State is that they're kind of consistently a top program, but they haven't won a championship title in decades. So they need someone who can come in and win fast. So I think Diaz can do that. He has the aggressive defensive mindset that Penn State needs, especially for recruitment tactics, retaining current players like the linebackers Rojas and Campbell and cornerback Harris. Penn State needs that aggressive defensive coaching mindset.
Yeah, Manny Diaz. I mean, these are like my top 3 answers. I was kind of hoping somebody would pick somebody like Nick Saban again. I think I told y'all before that, but I think the obvious answer is Kirk Cignetti right here. I think that's, you know, he is a native within Pennsylvania, not a Penn State alum like Matt Rule, but I do think that he's the obvious answer contract-wise as well. I like your reasoning with Manny Diaz. I'm going to have to give you the 2 here just because you did talk about the retaining the defensive players. That's going to be huge. You're going to have a huge turnover of the roster coming with, you know, a different, you know, I guess Manny Diaz is just going to be great for the defensive team. So Matt Rule, great answer too. I just think that contract-wise and also just it's Matt Rule. I just don't know how successful he'll be at Penn State. I mean, he's a Penn State alum. I know he did great with Temple. I mean, he can, but I just with Nebraska and Carolina, I just have a hard time with it. But I do think it's still a great answer, however. Last question of the first round. The preseason AP poll for both the men's and women's college basketball season was released earlier this week. And while the men's team for Texas wasn't listed, the Texas women's basketball team landed 4th on the list after a Final Four run last season. With all teams considered, however, what was the biggest surprise ranking or lack thereof for both the men's and women's preseason AP poll to you, and why? And Tyler, you'll start off.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the women's side here, TJ. I think you go through that first 4, and it's like the Final Four teams, okay, adds up. The first team I get to that really is a question mark in my mind is that team up there in Norman, Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Sooners. I think them being ranked at 6th after a Sweet 16 exit, you know, they were great through conference play, obviously, but then they kind of disappeared in the tournament early. I know they got that high recruit, Aaliyah Chavez, kind of stole her away from Texas even, but I just don't think that they're high enough to be warranted at number 6. And I'm going to shock the world on the men's side here. BYU should not be ranked. They should not be ranked. This team is terrible. I've seen it time and time again. I know they have the number 1 recruit. I know they had a Sweet 16. This is going to be a Kevin Young sophomore slump. I may be trying to jinx this in the opposite direction, but I think that's my answer right there.
Wow, Tyler. Wow. I was not expecting that. I might have to just give you the 3 just for sacrificing your BYU fandom there, but we have to hear the other 2 answers here. Parker.
As for the women, I'm going to go with something that surprises me is USC, Southern Cal. I don't really know why they're in the top 20. Juju Watkins out for the season, led the team last year in point assists and steals. And then USC can't even make that up on the down low because Kiki Iriofin, who led the team in rebounds, and Raya Marshall, who led the team in blocks, are both onto the WNBA this year. So basically, USC has no one. I don't really know why they're still in the top 20. I understand they were a strong, dominant team last year, but there's nothing to prove why they should be in the top 20 even this year. For the men's, Purdue. Why are they ranked number 1? Purdue's not going to happen. Matt Painter's not going to make it happen. 1 Elite 8 appearance in the last 5 seasons, 2 first-round exits in the last 5 seasons. Purdue's not going to happen.
Yeah, Purdue is a pretty surprising pick at number 1, I'll tell you that. Kendell?
Okay, so I'll start with the women's side here. I also went with OU. My main reasoning behind this was they haven't been ranked high since 2009. So if you look at the statistics there, obviously the AP poll had a lot of trust in the roster they've had right now to be able to change that and make them that high. And they didn't do too much in the transfer portal compared to other programs. So I just think a high 6 ranking there is a little questionable for them. And for the men's, this may surprise people, but I'm going with Florida here, and I understand they won the national championship last year, but look at who they lost. They lost 3 strong guards to the NBA draft, very well-rounded players there. You lose Walter Clayton Jr. I don't know how they come back so high when they lost so much talent.
Yeah, great answer. They lost their entire starting backcourt. I'm going to give Parker the 3 here. I think that Purdue at 1 is going to be is very surprising. I know that it's, I don't think Purdue's ever been ranked preseason #1 before, and so it's surprising that they finally gave it to him after all these late or early playoff exits. And I also think USC, kind of weird to have them ranked right now with Juju Watkins being out for the season. Kendell, I'll give you the 2 here. Florida losing their entire starting backcourt at 3 is going to be surprising. And also Oklahoma at 6. I mean, the last time Oklahoma was 6 in another sport didn't work out too well. And it's crazy that they're number 6. They don't really have much to prove, or they don't have much that they've proven to be at 6. Tyler, I agree again with Oklahoma. BYU, I was not surprising that answer. Go ahead, make your point. But the point, it's already put in.
Make your
man.
point. Make your point, TJ, first.
No, I was just BYU. I mean, BYU, who else could be ranked over them? Texas? Who do you think?
Not Texas.
Texas
but I'm just gonna hold on to this moment right here and come back to this late in March, okay?
Okay, that's good. All right, make sure to do that. The first 3 questions are in the books. All 3 contestants showed some fight, definitely some fight, but they still have 2 more rounds to go. There's still so much more to talk about, and this is still anyone's game. Coming up on the next block, we venture to the professional leagues and talk some playoffs in the MLB and WNBA finals and the NFL season. All this and much more coming up on College Crossfire. Welcome back very quickly to the College Crossfire show tonight. After 1 round, we have Tyler leading at 7 points, Parker right there at 6, and Kendell also right there at 5 points. We had a lot to talk about in the first round. We aren't cooling off anytime soon. So let us get right into the second round, starting with question number 1. Some divisions in the NFL have a ton of parity, like the NFC East, for example, which hasn't had a repeat winner since 2004. Then you have other divisions like the AFC West, which have been owned by the Kansas City Chiefs for 9 years straight. But every year brings a new opportunity for these records to be broken, and plenty of other divisions have very interesting storylines as well. So to you, which division in the NFL is the toughest so far this year, and why? Tyler, we'll start with you.
I'm going to go with the NFC West. We've got 3 teams right there at the top of the division, tied at 4-2. You've got the Niners, the Rams, and the Seahawks. Sam Darnold leading the Seahawks. The Niners are quite literally crippled at the moment, but they're still floating at the top of that division. And then the Rams with Stafford force-feeding Puka Nacua. 3 explosive offenses right there, and obviously the 49ers defense kind of messes with that. So I just think that division is the toughest right now because you got those 3 teams right up there. The league as a whole is outrageously baffling this year. You can watch any game and you never have any idea who's going to win a game. But I think that division specifically, you've got those teams winning outside the division, so you really don't know what's going on inside that division. So I'm going to stick with the NFC West.
Yeah, it's a very competitive division. You kind of left out a team in that division, though. I kind of noticed that.
They're at the bottom. The Cardinals are kind of there also. But
All right, Kendell.
Okay, I'm going to go with the NFC North here. The main reasoning behind this is because there's no easy kind of games within the conference. It's kind of a divisional game every time you play someone in that conference there. The Bears aren't bad this year. You got Caleb Williams at quarterback, and he's kind of changed the program a little bit where they're not bad and it's not a gimme game. The Packers are 3-1. The Vikings, the Lions, they're the teams. I just think it's a very competitive division there where it could be anybody's game at anyone's time.
Very competitive division for sure. Parker?
I'm also going to go with the NFC North. Different from Kendell, I think it really starts with coaching. You have coaches like Dan Campbell, Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson, Kevin O'Connell. It really starts with them. Aggressive, strong, talented. You've got elite players on both sides of the ball on every team. There's, like Kendell said, no really free buy. Any team is a threat to any of them. They're also the only division in the whole NFL right now where all 4 teams have a winning record. So there's really no clear favorite right now. And I NFC North. It's just too competitive.
Yeah. The NFC North is a very obvious answer. Only team with all positive records. I like your reasoning, Parker. I'm going to give you the 3 here. I'm having a hard time giving you a 2 here because you kind of forgot the teams there for a second. But I think that it is the obvious answer, so I'll give you the 2 here for now. But Tyler, I did like your answer. Unfortunately, the Cardinals just take that division down like a ship, man. They're not a good team. But we're going to the next question. The MLB is down to its final 4 teams remaining in the 2025 playoffs. And both road teams in the AL and NL leagues have come out to a 2-0 lead by the time of recording. Like the great Kobe Bryant said, I said this last week too, but I'm going to repeat it again. Being up 2-0 is not a job finished. And both series still have a lot of ball to play. So to you, who wins each series and in how many games? Kendall, you go ahead.
Okay. So first I have the Dodgers because you can never count them out. They have the experience in the postseason. They have a good program. So I have them in 6 just because it's difficult to play at home and kind of that. Wow, I'm so great at baseball. And then I had the Mariners in 7 just because I just think, yes, they have 2 road games, which is hard to do, but the Jays will get them a run for their money.
Yeah. And Tyler did correct me kind of. I mean, by the time we're recording, they still haven't officially won, but the Blue Jays look like they're about to take Game 3 pretty convincingly. So, but Parker.
I think the Dodgers are going to sweep. I mean, that roster is literally bullying the Brewers. With Yamamoto and Snell starting on the mound, the pitching squad accounts for 2/3 of the outs in the postseason for the Dodgers, and they haven't even played Shohei yet in the series. Clayton Kershaw didn't even make the postseason roster, so I think Dodgers are going to take it. What can you say about that roster? Just insane. I think the Mariners are going to take it in 6. I think with Polanka hitting those home runs we saw in Game 2, it was that when it was tied 3-3 in the 5th, and he just hit that insane homer 3-run. I think his ability to be clutch in those moments, his firepower is going to be really crucial to them. However, I do think the Blue Jays have a little bit of fight in them, so Mariners in 6.
All right, and then Tyler.
So there's some breaking news happening on this set right now. The series before these go to 5 games?
Before. Not these series.
These ones go to 7.
Best of 7. Yep, Tyler.
Okay, that changes my answer a little bit. I'm going to just...
You got some time to rebound here, man.
I'm going to go with the Dodgers in, I guess, 5. And I'll go with the... But the Dodgers are playing the Brewers, right?
Yes. Yeah,
okay, yeah, then I'll go with the Blue Jays because they're going to win. They're winning by like 10 or something right now, 10 runs. So they're going to turn the series around, and they'll take it in 7, I guess.
What a great answer.
They go that
there.
far.
You know, I do think that the Blue Jays have a chance here. You know, I like that you're the first person to say that the Blue Jays are going to win the series. I'm going to have to give you. I'm going to have to give you. I'm going to. That is good enough for 1 point on this round here. Okay, Kendall, you're going to get the 2 here now because you didn't see me through here, Parker. Yeah, no, but I do think that the Mariners win in 7 or the Blue Jays. I think that the Mariners winning in 6. You know, they are a good team. They have a strong rotation, but it's the Mariners. We know them for collapsing in the playoffs. So, but I do have to give you the 3 here. You have the best explanation by far. Kendall, you'll get the 2 here. Tyler, I don't know what to say, but you did. The Blue Jays winning, not a bad answer at all. I got to give you credit for that. But going to the next and last question of this round, the Las Vegas Aces, they ended the 2025 WNBA season with a dominant playoff run, which ended in a sweep of the Phoenix Mercury. This now gives Vegas their 3rd championship in the last 4 years, officially cementing themselves as a dynasty. To you, where does this Las Vegas dynasty rank all time in the WNBA? And if they are not the best dynasty of all time, then who is? Parker, you start us off.
I think they rank as the 2nd best dynasty in the WNBA. I mean, they have the first to the Houston Comets. They are the only team to win 4 consecutive championship titles from 1997 to 2000. They are tied for the most championship wins. And especially they were winning and really dominant when the league was transitioning from 8 to 16 teams. So that shows their ability to stay dominant, stay strong during times of adversity and chaos. However, I don't think that the Aces are cemented as the second in the dynasty rankings. With a coach like Becky Hammond, with AJ Wilson, I think there's always potential to rise and keep building. So we'll see how that shifts in the next couple years.
Yeah, hard to beat 4 championships in a row. But Tyler?
Yeah, I'm also going to put the Aces as the second best dynasty in the WNBA. The first one, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Lynx. They went from 2011 to 2017. They won 4 out of those 7, and they alternated every year, which I know is a bit odd to say. You know, they weren't on a hot streak, but they won, lost, lost, one, which I think I did my math right.
Sounds right.
Right, it's
Keep going, man.
That's
You're
true.
You're cooking. Keep going.
And I think that longevity shows more. They also had 3 different finals MVPs across those 4 finals wins. So that longevity speaks more than how fast the Aces have won their titles.
Interesting. All right. And then Kendell?
Okay, I'm going to change up the answers here. I put them at 3. I put them behind both the Comets and Minnesota because I don't know how you could have anyone else except the Comets at 1. 4 straight, again, hard to beat. Like Parker said, 1997, 2000 run. You have that there. I put Minnesota at 2. Tyler took it right out of my mouth about the longevity. It's just they have 4 national titles, all that, but I think Vegas can give them a run for their money, but not yet. In the next couple years, maybe, but right now I would put them at 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think any of you guys are right. I'm going to go with the Aces being the best dynasty of all time because this is the Houston Comets. Look, 1997 to 2000 winning 4 straight. Not as competitive, not nearly as competitive as it is now, in my opinion. Tyler, you're going to get the 3 points here for the WNBA question. I think the Minnesota Lynx is a great answer. The longevity, 2011 through 2017, winning 4 championships. That is impressive, especially in this time of the WNBA. I'm going to go with Parker for the 2 points here because I do think that they are, if they're not the best dynasty, I think they're the second best. Kendell, I'll give you the 3 here. Tyler, wait. That is impressive, man. You got the 3 points for that. After another round is in the books, and after the break, it'll be time to head into the most exciting part of the night, rapid fire. The intensity will turn up a notch, and to win, you have to go all gas, no brakes. Don't leave your seat because we'll decide our College Crossfire champion once and for all next. Welcome back to the final round of College Crossfire tonight. After a great round 2, we have Parker taking the lead now at 14 points, Tyler right behind at 12, and Kendell right behind as well at 10 points. So we have 2 blocks down, and only 1 remains. Can you guys guess what it is? It's
rapid fire.
Yeah, Tyler, yeah. This round is for all the marbles. Once again, the points are doubled, and the panelists have not prepared for these questions. It's going to be all gas, no brakes from here on out, so let's get right into our first question. The NFL is full of fun and highly intense rivalries. For example, after the Pittsburgh Steelers dismantled the Cleveland Browns last week, Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf was quoted saying, "It was fun kicking the Browns, you know what, on Sunday." To you, what is your favorite NFL rivalry and why? Kendell, you were quick with that.
Because I have to. I do it every show I'm on. Give me Patriots, Bills. I grew up a season ticket holder. Patriots, Brady, Josh Allen. I don't know.
Where'd you grow up, Kendall?
Oh, no.
What do you mean where did I go? I grew up in Jersey. Why does that matter? Anyway, but I just think Patriots, Bills, they just played last week or the week before, and it was a great game, obviously. The Patriots fell a little bit, but now they're kind of rising above again.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a pretty lopsided rivalry, I would have to say, but it is a good answer. Parker?
I'll take Bills Chiefs, definitely a more recent rivalry. But I mean, we've seen how back and forth it is. Bills kind of have the Chiefs in the regular season, and then Chiefs absolutely own the Bills in the postseason, most unfortunately. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs and the Bills.
Another lopsided rivalry, but yeah, it is more recent.
I'm going with a lopsided rivalry as well because at some point Dallas is going to beat Green Bay in AT&T Stadium. At some point, it's going to happen. There's not a favorite rivalry that I go with.
This.
outside of the division, there's nobody I hate more than Green Bay. So I'm going to stick with that answer. Of course, every time that matchup's always circled for us Cowboys fans.
You guys are making it tough on me, man. I don't even know how to dock points on this one. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I think I just have to give nobody points here, but we're going to move on to the next one. Across the landscape of American sports, every city has its share of triumphs and heartbreaks. While some cities like Boston, of course, they have a championship, it feels like every year. It gets tiring. Other cities, they struggle to compete in every sport. So my question is, what U.S. city do you think takes the crown for having the most miserable sports teams, and why? Parker?
Philly. That is so self-explanatory. I mean, Eagles, Phillies, and Flyers all lost within like 3 hours of each other on Thursday, and you're telling me that's not miserable?
But the Eagles just won the Super Bowl.
Okay, so?
I haven't seen an NFC championship.
She can still answer.
I'm sorry.
Keep
going.
You can take it. It's okay.
All right.
Hey, give me Nashville, Tennessee. Look at our programs. We got the Tennessee Titans coach. Thank you. Nasty is right. Our head coach has gone midseason. The Predators haven't made the playoffs in a long time. Working for both those places in the past 2 years. It's a great time, but no one is expecting much with those teams right now. Cam Ward, maybe someday.
All right, Tyler.
When has Detroit ever won anything meaningful? Ever? Like, genuinely when? Somebody in the audience, if you can name.
11 Stanley Cups.
When was the last one? Yeah, that's what I thought. I would have been, 4 years old?
Brutal.
So it's got to be Detroit.
Yeah. I think that Detroit is a very good answer. They have had a terrible.
Michigan is not from Detroit.
Michigan does not count as Detroit sports, I will have to say. As the last question of rapid fire, we've been blowing through these ones. Last question. As it is pretty obvious, everyone here really likes sports, and we all attend the University of Texas. The Longhorns are considered a very successful athletic university, and there are more than just a few sports legends that come from the campus. So what I want to know is, who is your favorite Longhorn athlete of all time, and what makes them so special to you? If anybody says Michael Taaffe, you are DQ'd. Or Brock Cunningham. It's taken a while.
Kevin Durant.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Vince Young. He brought us our last national championship. We haven't had one since, so yeah.
I think that's good.
I didn't watch Texas sports growing up, so I'm going with. Just give me Quinn Ewers. Give me Quinn Ewers. Somebody has to get rapid fire wrong every once in a while. I'll go with Quinn Ewers.
That's a great answer. All right. We got points rounded up right here. Let me just round this up real quick because this is getting complicated. So, Vince Young, Kevin Durant,
Quinn Ewers, they're in the same.
Quinn Ewers.
Kevin Durant.
It's
special to me.
yeah. That's ooh. All right. Well, we do have a winner here. So we counted them up. I hope this is right. I hope I didn't pull a Tyler Moss, but we had a great show tonight. Lots of great moments. It's been a blast. Unfortunately, we ran out of questions, so it's time to declare our champion. This week, the College Crossfire champion is winning by 2 points. Only 2 points. The winner is Tyler Moss.
What? I thought it was you, bro.
What?
I thought it was Parker.
The Quinn Ewers answer.
That is not the best. is one. That is so.
That didn't give you 6. I didn't give him 6 points for that. He still won, though.
Sorry, listen. Good job.
Thanks, everybody.
Give him his FaceTime, all
yeah,
right?
thanks for the support time. Yeah. Yippee!
All right. Well, that was quite an interesting show that we had tonight. Great effort from all of our panelists, especially our winner, Tyler Moss. Give him the trophy. That'll wrap things up for us here on College Crossfire. Thank you to everyone who makes this show possible, from the contestants to the in-studio personnel, all the people in Master Control, especially our executive producer, Gabriel Silva, and to you, the audience, thanks for watching. Remember to tune into our other shows here at TSTV Sports, which include the 1-0 Sports Show on Friday at 11 and College Press Box next Tuesday at 6. We're glad you joined us here for College Crossfire and hope to see you next Wednesday at 9. This has been TJ Kurlowitz. Have a great night.